What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Fantasy Fellow Show. My name's Kyle, coming at you guys with a training camp news update. And boy, oh boy, when I scheduled this 7 p.m. Central Time video here, I did not expect to have the news go on that we did. So we'll get into this. I'm gonna hop into a screen share. Come on in, guys. Get ready. We're gonna go over the news blurbs on the NBC Sports app. And good evening to Harris. And Ron, we have like some major news bombs today, guys. Dalvin Cook signs with the Jets. Ezekiel Elliott signs with the Patriots. We have, I think, two veterans left to sign: Leonard Fournette and Kareem Hunt. So we have, a couple dominoes there that will be nice to figure those out. But for now, man, we're looking at some ramifications here. We're going to start with Dalvin Cook and the New York Jets. He signs a 1-year, $8.6 million deal, which is that's not chump change, guys. Bring back contracts. Let's look at the spot track over the cap, whatever we got here. I mean, 8.6 million a year here. That's going to put Dalvin Cook here as the ninth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's the ninth highest paid running back going into the season, which is going to be very detrimental to Breece Hall. So I think the overall opinion of Breece Hall is we love Breece Hall. He's such a good player. Like he is electric, but he's coming off of a pretty bad ACL tear. It sounds like he's doing well, but the fact that he's still not off the PUP list is concerning. So they signed Dalvin Cook. We know the Jets have been kind of, flirting with Dalvin Cook for the last month or so, and it's finally happened. So we got our fantasy drafts coming up in, a week, 2 weeks, Labor Day weekend, guys. What do we do here? Aiden says he needs Cook's agent. I think Dalvin Cook is in decline. This seems like an overpay, but it's the money it costs to get a decent backup and one that's going to probably lead the team in carries to start the year. I would imagine Dalvin Cook's going to be the lead back to start the season. But man, as time goes on, Breece Hall gets healthier. He's going to be the guy that we want. So I think for fantasy football, Dalvin Cook, doing my projections, guys, Dalvin Cook came out to be my RB 36. I think he is a running back 3 on my roster. And for the month of September, I do think he can be plugged in as a running back 2. I do think we're going to see Dalvin Cook play decently at the start of the year. But as Breece Hall gets healthier, maybe he looks better than Dalvin Cook right away, but maybe by November, maybe by even late October, we see Breece Hall start to get more and more involved in snaps, in touches, and things like that. So I think the easiest way to answer Dalvin Cook versus Breece Hall is say you want to take Breece Hall and a guy like Jamal Williams. There's bridge running backs to get to Breece for late season Breece. And then with Dalvin Cook, he pairs well with a guy like Alvin Kamara. Or even if you wanted to pair Dalvin Cook with Breece Hall on the same team, I think that's okay. And yeah, that's what's weird, Ron. Like Javante's out there, not even on the PUP list. He's practicing. We might even see him in a preseason game. Javante had the worst knee injury, and he's ahead of Breece Hall in recovery time right now. So I am super concerned with that for Breece. And for right now, man, like we're going to know in a couple days, like where Breece Hall's ADP kind of comes in. He was still being drafted as a late 3rd round pick on the best ball sites. I don't know where ESPN or Yahoo or whatever had him, but I think for now we have to say no to almost both these guys at ADP. Again, one of my favorite things to ask is is this player going to help me win a fantasy championship? It's very rare for a player coming off a torn ACL to do that. So I'm slightly concerned. I think Breece Hall is a fantastic talent, but man, to hold on to a guy just so that he can maybe be the guy weeks 15, 16, 17, like we just don't know. There might be better players going off in that ADP range of Breece Hall. So I think just my thinking is, one, I always hate drafting players off ACL tears. I think Javante Williams is interesting. And yeah, Javante was looking like a boss last year too before that injury. Like the game that Javante got hurt, like they basically benched Melvin Gordon. Like Javante had won the job. But again, with both these guys coming off serious knee injuries right now, Javante looks a lot better. than Breece Hall does right now. And then signing a guy for $8.6 million, boy, oh boy, I think Breece Hall might have I don't want to call it a redshirt year, but you're probably going to see him be the RB2 for most of the season. And then what's Dalvin Cook's ceiling? I'm not quite sure Dalvin Cook's all that good anymore. He's not a 1A type running back anymore. So we'll see. They signed Samaje Perine, who I like, but I think for me, guys, and I don't know if you feel about it, but I want to see where the bottoms come in on Dalvin Cook and Breece Hall, but I don't think they're going to be in my plan for my redraft leagues. We can move on. If you guys want to keep talking about Breece, I can continue to do so. I do think the Ezekiel Elliott one is just as interesting, if not more, because I think a lot of people like Rhamondre Stevenson. When I initially did my projections in late May, my first preliminary projections came out. I had Rhamondre as like RB7 just because they didn't have anybody behind him. And then we start seeing that, hey, they're looking at running back twos. They brought in Fournette for a visit. They brought in Zeke. The writing was on the wall for Rhamondre. So I actually had Dr. Rhamondre at some point to like a RB2 value. And now signing Zeke to a $6 million deal, it's up to $6 million. Well, that would still put Zeke in here as like the 10th or 12th paid highest running back, which is concerning. I still like Rhamondre, like Aiden here, but we got to figure out where this ADP is going to be. Rhamondre, his outlook now falls in the range of like RB14 to RB20 for me. I think in PPR, that's where you want Rhamondre Stevenson. Bring in a guy like Zeke, who he maybe doesn't have the long burst speed anymore, but we know Zeke is a good short yardage rusher and a good goal line back. He can also pass block. He can also catch a couple passes. So I think you're going to see Rhamondre kind of be the guy, the passing down guy for sure on like third downs and passing situations. You're going to see Rhamondre out there for the most part. But man, if it's 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, you might see Zeke come in. If it's, 1st and goal from the 1 or 2, you might see Zeke in there. So Rhamondre does lose some of those high value touches, which concerns me. So I had to dock Rhamondre a little bit. He's again somewhere in my projections, guys, like RBs 15 through 25. It's a difference of like 10 points. So to me, I view Rhamondre as a decent running back 2 in full PPR leagues. And we just got to see where he's being drafted, man. I got to see where these floors come in. I think right now, if Rhamondre falls to the 5th, 6th round, I guess I'll be interested in here. But again, are we that interested about the Patriots and their running backs? I'm not sure. Last year was a pretty rare occasion for Bill Belichick's running back. So interesting news here, guys. I think I'm still in on Rhamondre. I'm not super excited about it. I think there's other guys that I like maybe a little bit more, and it really just is going to depend on where he falls in his ADP. But we'll be watching. We're going to be doing the ESPN, live mock draft on Wednesday night. I think that'll be very telling to see where the Breeces and the Rhamondre and Dalvin Cook and even Zeke. People are going to be drafting Ezekiel Elliott, who I don't know if Zeke's not going to have startable value in fantasy football unless Rhamondre goes down. I think he's going to be annoying for Rhamondre Stevenson owners, and he's going to be almost not startable on a week-to-week basis. So we'll see. But major news. And then the running back news did not disappoint today, guys, because look at this. We got J.K. Dobbins 100% healthy, activated off PUP list. I mean, I'd rather have J.K. Dobbins than Rhamondre at this point. I'd rather have J.K. Dobbins over Breece Hall. Dobbins is looking to get paid, so he's in that contract year. Hopefully he can earn it and get what he wants out of this. But I'm super interested in the Ravens running back situation. I know Gus Edwards got dinged up in practice not too long ago. They did sign Melvin Gordon. Justice Hill is there, but J.K. Dobbins is a tier or two above all of those running backs we just listed. So I'm heavily interested in J.K. Dobbins this year. And I think based on his ADP, he's going to look like a really good running back too on a lot of my teams, because I'm pretty excited about what the new offensive system and offensive coordinator is going to do in Baltimore. Hopefully, they get a little bit more active in throwing the ball to the running back. So Dobbins, I'm taking over Rhamondre, I think, right now. And I'll tell you what, if you go up just if you're just looking at Rhamondre's numbers from last year in a box score or fantasy setting perspective, his numbers look great. Just having Rhamondre on my fantasy team and watching him play games at the end of December last year was very frustrating. He's not a great, goal line back or a short yardage back. He can bust the big ones and he makes people miss, and he's a tank to take down in the open field. But overall, he was very frustrating at the goal line. So that's what makes me worry about Ezekiel Elliott there. Khalil Herbert. I did have to boost Khalil Herbert up a little bit today. I have Herbert kind of as like RB30. I think he's going to be a fringe running back too. I think we cannot overreact to a 60-yard touchdown screen week one for a guy that traditionally has not caught a lot of passes. I do think that's good for him that we're seeing them try to throw him the ball on, their third pass attempt of the game. I like that. But I do think he's going to have some up and downs. He looks best as your running back 3 on your roster, and he had a pretty huge spike in ADP from what I was seeing today. So I think you're probably going to see Khalil Herbert continue to go up the draft boards. But for now, I am probably thinking that if you want to start Khalil Herbert week one as your RB2, I think he can do it for you. But I still value him more as like RB25 to RB30. Gainwell's moving up, man, because he is fundamentally the most balanced of all Eagle running backs. We know he can run the ball fine. We know he's a decent pass catcher. He can pass block as well. With Swift, Swift's a really good receiving back. We don't know, we kind of know Swift's an okay runner. If you look at his numbers, he's an okay runner. He's good at getting touchdowns. But they also have a 2-year trust built up with Kenny Gainwell. So if I'm being honest, if I'm drafting Eagle back, I wait for Kenneth Gainwell at the very end. Taking DeAndre Swift at ADP seems like a headache. Taking Rashad Penny at ADP seems like a headache. If anything, I'd rather just take the better Eagles players, whether it's Hurts, AJB, Devonta, or Dallas Goedert. I think that's probably the better decision. Lance, man, Lance needs a trade. He needs a trade. He needs a change of scenery, my man. I would love to see Trey Lance on the Atlanta Falcons, a team that can run the ball, that kind of thing. But overall, I'm not feeling too good about the Trey Lance stuff, guys. Trey Lance struggled, man. But yeah, we'll on Wednesday night, if you guys are coming and hanging out for the ESPN live mock draft, we'll be watching for a lot of these guys that are moving up and down at ADP, whether it's Khalil Herbert, Gainwell, Ramondre, and see where they fall and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see. Aiden O'Connell looked pretty solid. This one's something to monitor here. Terrace Marshall tweaked something in his back Mondays. He rode a cart back with the training staff here. I watched the Panthers 2 drives with Bryce Young. It didn't look good. They didn't have Miles Sanders either, but the offense is going to have its ups and downs this year. I think that much is for sure. I honestly don't know if there's any Carolina Panther I need on my redraft team this year. If I'm drafting a Panther, it might be Hayden Hurst like that. It's going to be pretty rough for the Panthers. I'm excited about the future of a Terrace Marshall or Jonathan Mingo, maybe DJ Chark. Adam Thielen just makes me nervous. And Zamir White looked Zamir White's numbers in the box score didn't look great. He got the touchdown, but I thought he looked good on a few of his carries. And I like collecting Zamir White, especially if you guys are drafting this week or this weekend and Josh Jacobs still hasn't reported to camp, take Zamir White with one of your last picks. If you have to cut him, who cares? But there's a legit chance, and it's growing more and more every day, that Zamir White might be the starting running back for week one. We're going to have to monitor this. Mike Gesicki left practice with an upper body injury and did not return to the field. This is just all about Hunter Henry to me. We should not be taking Mike Gesicki in any formats right now. It's all about Hunter Henry as a tight end 2 sleeper for us. Logan Thomas. We shouldn't be even concerned with Logan Thomas as a fantasy tight end. I do want to shout out second-year tight end, though, Cole Turner. He's been impressing, and he actually made some nice plays in the first preseason game with the ones. In my best ball draft, I've actually selected this Cole Turner in the last round a couple times here. So I'm keeping my eye on him. He's probably going to be a waiver wire tight end at some point this year. So Cole Turner, file that name away for future waiver wire usage. We got Jonathan Taylor returning to camp, but remains on the active PUP list. Rappaport said this stance has not changed on Taylor. He still wants a trade. I think I'm just out on Jonathan Taylor, guys. Reading the tea leaves and the vibes and the energy here, I'm fine with passing on Jonathan Taylor. Give me Barkley, give me Pollard, give me some of the other guys in his range. I'll take a receiver over him. If Jonathan Taylor gets hurt, we risk him not playing until he's 100% healthy. I don't like it. I'm fine with taking somebody else in that range. If Jonathan Taylor makes me look stupid, it's okay. I'd rather take one of the guys I trust a little bit more. Luke Musgrave, dude, I think he's the rookie tight end to grab this season. He is my favorite one. He looks really freaking good. And yeah, Deion Jackson's interesting name. Evan Hall also got some snaps with the ones. I do want to look up. There's a really, and I might cover these during the regular season, but if you guys are on Twitter, you guys should go follow Nathan Yonke here. He works for PFF, and man, he's got some really good articles that he puts out every week regarding the snap shares. Let me click into this and I'll find it for you guys. But these are something that, this is something that I look at every week. And right here, preseason week 1 snap counts. He goes through and he puts down all the snap counts with the starters. If we look at what the Colts put out, let's see if I can find your Colts. Alrighty, so the Colts, Deion Jackson got 15 snaps with the ones. Evan Hall got 14. 4 routes run for Deion, 6 for Evan Hall. Evan Hall got 6 carries and 2 targets. So don't sleep on this Evan Hall, the rookie here that they drafted. I don't hate Kincaid, man. Kincaid played well. They didn't get a ton of snaps with the first offense, but Kincaid did get 6 snaps. He's operating as kind of the third receiving option here. So it's not that I hate Kincaid. I just think Musgrave has no tight end competition. I think Musgrave might end up being on the field a little bit more than Kincaid this year. And I mean, if we're being honest, like there's no Stephon Diggs type, hogging up all the targets in Green Bay. If I go to Green Bay here, what they did with Musgrave though, man, is they kind of featured him. That's what I like here. He was on the field for 12 out of 12 snaps with J Love, 8 routes run, which was third most on the teams, and he got 2 of the 9 targets. So I do not hate Kincaid. I just like Musgrave a little bit more. And then, yeah, Juwan Johnson got fed. And honestly, guys, that Saints offense looked pretty dang good. Let's go here. 12 snaps with Derek Carr in the field. Olave and Michael Thomas didn't come off the field. Both ran 8 routes. Both got some targets. Keith Kirkwood here, who you see as the number 3, that's going to be Rashid Shaheed's spot, so don't pay attention to him. But Juwan Johnson was the lead tight end with the offense. 9 snaps, 5 routes run, 2 targets. Looked really good, 2 for 29 as a receiver. We shouldn't be worrying about any other tight ends here. Maybe Taysom Hill in the future, but Juwan Johnson's the receiving tight end. You also have Alvin Kamara looking like a boss. 10 snaps out of 12. 6 routes run, 2 targets, 3 carries. Jamal Williams only got 1 carry. So my stance on Alvin Kamara might be changing. I think, yeah, it sucks that he's going to be suspended for 3 games, but when he comes back, this is elite usage right here. If he's getting this for a full game workload, that puts him closer to a running back 1 than a running back 2. So we had to see more, but I really liked what I saw from our guy, Alvin Kamara there. And yeah, the Packers numbers, man, Packers numbers look good. That's a good question, Ron. I think long term, so as a Packer fan, dude, like I am pretty pumped about this group. Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, and Luke Musgrave. Like this, next year we could be looking at this offense thinking like, oh my God, like the Packers got some really fun weapons. I think Romeo Doubs is established. He ran the most routes. He's going to be on the field probably more than any receiver all year. I think Doubs is probably a receiver you want to put on your fantasy bench this year. Watson's going to be starting in your lineup every week because he's such a big play threat. But I don't think the gap between Watson and Doubs in terms of ADP, I don't think it should be that big. I think Watson's going to be your kind of boom bust player, whereas Doubs is going to be. I think Doubs is going to be a little bit more consistent week to week. And yeah, the Jordan Love to Doubs connection looks pretty good this year. I'm I'm thinking there's room for Packers in your fantasy offenses this year, and especially for dynasty run, like Dobbs, Watson, Reed, Musgrave. Like that's a really like that's a really young trio, or I guess quad that has a ton of upside in the future here. Don't know what they're going to do at running back with Dylan and Aaron Jones, but the passing offense around Jordan Love, whew, it looks pretty good. But I'm gonna go back to yeah, if you guys want to look at this, I'm gonna post this in the comments here. I highly recommend checking it out and follow Nathan Yankee here on Twitter. His user tag is at PFF_Nate Yankee. He puts this out every freaking week, and it's just money. He puts out, and it's free too. You don't need a PFF subscription for it. So I'd highly recommend checking out the link if you want to check out the snaps. I don't even work for PFF. I'm just like I love this free resource, so you guys should use it too. I got another 5 minutes or so. Kendre Miller knee sprain. We'll pour one out for Kendre Miller's 2023. I with how much work Alvin Kamara got and Jamal Williams being there, they also poked around. I think they signed a running back today too, or we're looking at running backs. I don't think we're going to see anything from Kendre Miller for fantasy football this year. So he's off my rookie running back list for football for redraft leagues this year. But I'm still interested in Dynasty very, very much. This one kind of surprised me. Zach Ertz has been cleared for full football activity and is on track to play week 1. That's going to put a damper a little bit on my Trey McBride sleeper tight end numbers here. I think there's better sleeper tight ends now, like Luke Musgrave or Jake Ferguson, but I still, in a dynasty, man, I still want Trey McBride. Again, if we don't like Breece Hall and Javonte Williams coming off of ACL injuries, are we going to like Zach Ertz? Hell no. So this is a buy Trey McBride. Tajay Spears looked good. Yeah, Sam Laporta is another one. I do want to look at Tajay Spears, though, because I thought watching that game, he looked good with his snaps. Here you go. You have about 12 starters here with Malik Willis in the ones. Tajay got 9 snaps to Haskins' 3. So the clear winner here for the backup to Derrick Henry looks like Tajay Spears. He ran 2 routes, 1 target, and 6 carries. Haskins only got 3 routes run, no touches with this first team starters offense here. So Tajay Spears, we'll cross Kendre Miller off our rookie list and let's put Tajay Spears on there. I think that's a little bit sexier of a stash play this redraft season. Where's Justin at? Where's our guy Justin? We got to talk to him about Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon might be at risk of not making it. I don't think the money was there with his contract. We got to see this Keaton Mitchell, the undrafted or 7th round rookie, maybe. We'll see about that. But Melvin Gordon might not make the team. That just makes me like J.K. Dobbins even more. Let me see if there's any other news here. JT's back with the team. Clyde Edwards-Helaire got the opener. I thought Deuce Vaughn looked good. Let's look at that Dallas. We got to look at the Dallas Cowboys numbers here. Where is Dallas? All right, so the Dallas Cowboys. With the first team offense, you saw Malik Davis get 13 snaps, 7 routes, 4 targets, and 4 carries. Davis, to me, has always been the running back 2 of choice for Dallas, and I think he is the handcuff to Tony Pollard. But in this offense, I do believe that a running back 2 is going to get some base work, whether that's 6 to 8 touches per game. I think my leader is Malik Davis. Rico Dowdle, file that name away as well. 4 snaps, 3 routes, 2 targets. But Malik Davis looks like the running back 2 here for the Cowboys. And then Jake Ferguson is, I'm stamping it. He's the official Fantasy Fellowship tight end sleeper of the year. 13 snaps, 9 routes run, 3 targets. He had 3 really nice catches, 1 big catch up the seam. I think Dak Prescott's going to fall in love with this guy. So I'm all in on Jake Ferguson. I think that's where you want to be. Christian Kirk here. Aiden, I'm slightly concerned about Christian Kirk. 13 snaps with Trevor Lawrence. Ridley got 12. Zay Jones got 11. Christian Kirk only got 7. I know Kirk caught the touchdown, but this is not a good look. In 2 wide receiver sets, Ridley and Zay Jones were the 2 receivers out there. Christian Kirk was only out there in 3 wide receiver sets. I don't know if they were just trying something new. I need to watch this and hopefully see another bit of information, but this is kind of alarming for Christian Kirk, a little bit concerning. It makes me interested in Zay Jones on my bench. Kind of how you would think of like a Michael Gallup or KJ Osborne type. But it does look like Calvin Ridley is going to be on the field as the number one receiver here. Christian Kirk, I might say Calvin Ridley's a wide receiver 2. Christian Kirk now looks like a wide receiver 3 to me. MVS, did MVS make some plays yesterday? Or did he just get the day off with the starters? MVS, 7 snaps, 5 routes. Sky Moore got in there. Justin Watson, Rashee Rice. No Richie James with the starters, which is interesting. But I don't know if there's too much to take away from this. I do think MVS is going to be the guy on the field the most. But yeah, we'll see. But check out that article on your own, guys, if you want to look at it. There's some good stuff in there. I think that's pretty much it. I just wanted to come on here and talk about, Breece Hall and the Jets, Dalvin Cook. Also wanted to talk about the Patriots situation. So not sure what's up with this, but I'll be watching for Isaiah Likely. But either way, guys, I think tomorrow night you got Kenneth Walker coming back, so that's good news there. I think tomorrow night I'm going to continue to put out some more things, whether it's a mock draft or something. But Wednesday night for sure, come hang out with us. 6 p.m. Central Time. We'll be doing the live ESPN mock, and then I'm going to leave you with this, guys. This is my favorite running back, I think, pretty much all summer. I got a lot of James Cook shares in best ball. He looked really good. He is the starting running back for the Buffalo Bills. Damian Harris is hurt with a knee injury right now. Latavius Murray's the backup while Damian's away. It looks like they're going to give James Cook every chance to be the guy. So if you're drafting soon, try and get James Cook as your RB2 or 3 on draft day. But hey, that's it. I gotta go get ready. I have a really weird fantasy football draft tonight with some different settings, so I'm gonna be doing that. I won't be streaming it though. But either way, guys, thank you for hanging out. Shout out to Aiden, Ron, Harris. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night. We'll see you guys maybe in a video tomorrow night, but for sure Wednesday night live stream. Take it easy, guys. Peace.